Good afternoon, everyone. I, Dr. Neha Saraf, Secretary, Ratlam Option Guidance Society, along with our President, Dr. Manisha Maheshwari, ma'am, we have the pleasure of inviting you, all of us, to join this webinar. Today, we have very eminent speakers with us, and to welcome them, I would like to invite Dr. Sunita Wadhwani, ma'am. Ma'am, the mic.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Sunita Wadhwani, and I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of Ratlam Obstetric and Gynec Society. Today is World Population Day, which is celebrated globally on 11th of July every year. World Population Day was initiated by United Nations in an attempt to increase the awareness about population, family planning, maternal death, poverty, human rights, and adoption. To start with, I would like to welcome our first speaker and guest of honor, Dr. Bharat Chaparwal, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time. Next, I would like to welcome our Ratlam Obstetric and Gynec Society member and our second speaker, Dr. Aditi Rathod. Welcome, Aditi. Next, I would like to welcome Padma Shri, Dr. Leela Joshi, ma'am, who is behind all this to happen. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to our Dean, TMC, Ratlam, Dr. Sanjay Dikshit, sir, our IMA members, the Mahila Bal Vikas members, Inner Wheel Club, all Asha Karyakartas, ANMs, and last but not the least, I would like to welcome our Ratlam Obstetric and Gynec Society members. Welcome everybody for sparing their valuable time on this busy afternoon of Saturday. To start with the session, let me now introduce our first speaker, Dr. Bharat Chaparwal, sir. Dr. Sir has been professor in pediatrics in MGM Medical College, Indore. He has been member of Peer Team, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, the NAAC. He has been formal Vice Chancellor, Devi Ahilya University, Indore, from 1996 to 2004. He has been Vice President, Medical Council of India, the MCI, from 1995 to 2001. Sir has also been National President, Indian Medical Association, the IMA, from 1994 to 1995. Welcome, sir, for your lecture.
Thank you. Do I start?
Yeah.
Okay. As Dr. Wadhwani has already introduced the subject, that World Population Day, what we call is Vishwa Jansankhya Divas. And this Vishwa Jansankhya Divas has an origin. World having 5 billion population, and the day was approximated, it was 11th July. So 11th July has been chosen as World Population Day by UNDP, United Nations Development Agency. And besides that, how the idea came, I think the originator of the idea was Dr. Zakaria, who was the senior most demographer in World Bank. And then why do you want to have this? Because at the pace at which the population is progressing, 19वीं सदी तक 1 अरब पॉपुलेशन थी और अगली शताब्दी में वो 1.5 बढ़ी, तो टोटल 2.5 से आज हम वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन 7.8 बिलियन है। और हमारे लिए इसलिए भी महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन का हम करीबन 15% है, और 15% और हमारा जो भारत भूमि है वो है 2.4% of the world earth. So we have an important, and between India and China, say about China is about 1.4, we are about 1.3, and we almost about 1.38 now billion. And this has been done to impress upon that what are we going to do while celebrating, why do we want to celebrate this as a Vishwa Jansankhya Divas? What is the need? The biggest need is that highlighting the problems of overpopulation or even negative population. When I say negative population, negative growth, that is few countries like Japan, England, Sweden, they have a negative growth. So both these situations have to be taken with. And when we talk of this, when I'm talking to obstetric OBGYN society, I'm quite aware that most of it belongs to OBGYN. Why do I say so? हमें स्त्री और लड़कियों के स्वास्थ्य के बारे में काफी कुछ जानकारी देना है, और उनके स्वास्थ्य को कैसे हम सुरक्षित रख पाएंगे, कैसे हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, और विशेष करके चाइल्ड बियरिंग एज की जो विमेन होती हैं उनका ध्यान रखेंगे तो पॉपुलेशन का ध्यान अपने आप हो जाएगा। इसके साथ साथ जेंडर इक्वेलिटी का मामला आता है, जेंडर इक्वेलिटी के साथ साथ एम्प्लॉयमेंट का मामला आता है, एनवायरनमेंट का मामला आता है। तो ये देखते हुए ये हमारे लिए आवश्यक है कि इस दिवस को मनाया जाए। इस दिवस को मनाते मनाते अभी वर्ल्ड का जो कोविड एपिडेमिक पेंडेमिक चला है उसमें वर्ल्ड अगर 6 महीने तक भी लॉकडाउन कंटिन्यू रहता है तो इसका इफेक्ट पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ पे बहुत बड़ा आने वाला है। कैसे आएगा कि करीबन 47 मिलियन जो विमेन हैं उनको कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव की जो फैसिलिटीज हैं अवेलेबिलिटी कम इसलिए हो जाएगी कि स्वास्थ्य कर्मियों का ध्यान करीब करीब कोविड पे कंसंट्रेट हो जाए। अगर 47 मिलियन women are not accessible to the contraceptive procedures or methods, then it is estimated that world population might rise by 7 million. And when we talk of this, we have to be very, very careful that particularly हमारे देश के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। हमारे देश में भी मध्य प्रदेश के लिए और भी ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है, और वो महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए है कि भारत की जो जनसंख्या का घनत्व है वो खास करके उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान इन प्रदेशों में ज्यादा है, और इन प्रदेशों में बाकी की समस्याएं भी ज्यादा है। तो हमको एज कंपेयर टू साउथ southern states are really doing fine, and as all of us know that if we don't take care of this, what is going to happen? The effect will be जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी, जिसको हम लिंग की असमानता, मातृ एवं शिशु स्वास्थ्य, गरीबी, मानवाधिकार, स्वास्थ्य के अधिकार और प्रजनन स्वास्थ्य, एडोलेसेंट हेल्थ, स्पेशली किशोर की गर्भावस्था, लड़कियों की शिक्षा के बारे में आज भी राजस्थान में बाल विवाह पूर्ण रूप से बंद हुआ है। एंड STD, सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीजेज, यौन संचारित संक्रमण, और इसको, ये सब समस्याओं को लेते हुए इसके बारे में हमें प्रचार प्रसार, शिक्षा या आगे बढ़ाना है। और इसके तरीके हो सकते हैं कि हम, जैसा आप लोगों के, मैं आपको अभिवादन करता हूं कि आपने ये प्रोग्राम एक उसी तारतम्य में किया है जिससे वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन या UNDP ने मनाने को बोला है। चर्चाओं से हो, डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन से हो, आर्ट्स एंड क्राफ्ट से चित्रकला प्रतियोगिता हो, और बच्चों में निबंध की प्रतियोगिता हो सकती है, और साथ साथ में हमें लड़कियों की शिक्षा पे तो बहुत ही ज्यादा ध्यान देना होगा। अगर लड़कियों की शिक्षा होगी तो अपने आप ये समस्याएं हम सुलझा पाएंगे। और एक सुलझाने के लिए मैं सोचता हूँ कि जो समस्याएं हमारे यहाँ पैदा हुई हैं, आज इकोनॉमी की स्थिति देखें, पॉपुलेशन के साथ साथ कोविड आ गया, आज हमारी आर्थिक स्थिति, देश की आर्थिक स्थिति काफी ढलान की तरफ है, और उस वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन अगर बढ़ती जाती है, और खास करके इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन, तो हमें इससे निपटना और आवश्यक है। एनवायरमेंट पॉल्यूशन, जो पर्यावरण वाली बात है, वो भी पॉपुलेशन पे बहुत है। आप इमेजिन करिए, इंदौर में, जब मैं राजस्थान से इंदौर आया था, उस समय इंदौर शहर की पॉपुलेशन 5 लाख से भी कम थी। आज वो 30 लाख के आसपास है। तो 30 लाख की पॉपुलेशन, जो व्यवस्था है शहर की, वो तो 5 लाख की थी, 30 लाख की हो गई। तो जो भी समस्याएं इससे आ जाती है, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स हो, गवर्नमेंट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हो, गवर्नमेंट की और संस्थाएं हो, वो अब कम पड़ रही है। और बाहर देखें तो सड़कें भी हमारे लिए वैसी नहीं है जो कि 30 से 31 लाख के करीब होना चाहिए। तो एनवायरनमेंट है, एजुकेशन है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट तो वास्तव में है नहीं। हम कितना भी प्रॉमिस करें, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कितना भी नारे दें, मगर आज हमें एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करना है। हम आत्मनिर्भरता की बात करते हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है, आत्मनिर्भर होना चाहिए, मगर आत्मनिर्भर होने के लिए हमको अपनी आर्थिक स्थिति को, एम्प्लॉयमेंट को कैसे जनरेट करें। तो वो एम्प्लॉयमेंट हो सकता है बहुत बड़ी फैक्ट्रियों से न भी हो, मगर छोटे छोटे जो काम है उनसे भी हो सकता है। खास करके जो हमारी आशा वर्कर्स ने, आपने जिनको इनवाइट किया है हेल्थ के बारे में, उन्होंने इतना अच्छा काम किया है, प्रशंसनीय है कि हर प्रेग्नेंट लेडी को सेंटर पे लाते हैं और आज के साथ मिलकर के उनका पूरे स्वास्थ्य का, पूरी प्रेगनेंसी के साथ उनका ध्यान रखा जाता है। और बच्चों का भी ICDS के साथ में मिलकर के काफ़ी पोषण वगैरह के लिए काफ़ी उम्मीद है मुझे कि हम कुछ कर पाएंगे। मगर जो मुख्य समस्या है, मैं समझता हूँ वो 15 से 19 साल की जो लड़कियां होती हैं उनको अपने रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ के बारे में बताना बहुत आवश्यक है। तो रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ अगर ठीक रही तो प्रेगनेंसी भी अपने आप टल जाती है, अनइंटेंडेड प्रेगनेंसी नहीं आती। और एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी जो कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन की है, आज भी हम विश्वास किसमें कर रहे हैं कि चुप टाइम कर देंगे ठीक हो जाएगा, मगर वासक्टमी में जितना ध्यान देना चाहिए, इनके अलावा जो भी गर्भ निरोधक और साधन है उनके बारे में शिक्षित करना भी उतना ही आवश्यक है। ये देखते हुए एम्प्लॉयमेंट हुआ, इकोनॉमी हुई, एजुकेशन हुआ, एजुकेशन में हम आज भी बहुत पीछे हैं। दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि आज भी हमारी शिशु मृत्यु दर है, नवजात मृत्यु दर है या मैटरनल मोर्टेलिटी है, कंट्री में मध्य प्रदेश में काफ़ी ज़्यादा है और उसके ऊपर ध्यान देना बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ कि फॉक्सी के द्वारा ये प्रयास पैरामेडिकल्स को साथ लेकर के आगे बढ़ाया जाएगा और इसके साथ साथ जो हमारी और समस्याएं प्रजनन संबंधी उसका ध्यान देना वो आप लोगों के ऊपर ही है। और वो तभी हो पाएगा जबकि हम इस एजुकेशन को विश्व जनसंख्या के दिवस पर पूरी तरीके से इनके ऊपर शॉर्ट नोट्स बना करके, अखबारों में लिख के, रेडियो टॉक दे करके, टेलीविजन पे वार्ता करके इन चीज़ों का प्रचार प्रसार किया जाए। गरीबी तो आज भी उतनी ही है, जनसंख्या बढ़ रही है, खाने के साधन और साधनों की कमी हो रही है और साथ साथ में कुछ ऐसे भी पॉपुलेशन है बच्चों की जिसमें मोटापा भी एक प्रॉब्लम है। तो जहाँ माल न्यूट्रिशन है वहाँ ओबेसिटी भी आ गई। ओबेसिटी बहुत कम मात्रा में है मगर प्रॉब्लम आ गई। ओबेसिटी आएगी, हाइपरटेंशन होगा, डायबिटीज होगी। तो ये सारा जनसंख्या दिवस के ऊपर ये शिक्षा दे करके हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। मैं ये शुरुआत की है, इस बीच में इंटरैक्टिव सेशन होगा वो ज़्यादा अच्छा लगेगा। Could you get me? I don't know. क्योंकि सिर्फ लेक्चर तो 45 मिनट देने की आदत है, वो तो दे ही सकते हैं, पढ़ते। बात में ये कि इंटरेक्शन, कुछ सवाल जवाब हो, कुछ सुझाव हो, मैं भी आपसे सीखूं, ऐसी बात नहीं है। आज भी मेरी भी उतनी ही जिम्मेदारी है एज ए चिकित्सक जितनी आप लोगों की है। तो ये शिक्षा का काम डबल हो गया ना, विश्वविद्यालय का कुलपति और फिर पीडियाट्रिशियन, तो एक ऐसा कॉम्बिनेशन हो गया कि जिम्मेदारी ज्यादा हो गई।
इंटरेक्शन बीच में करेंगे तो आपको डिस्टरबेंस होगी। जो चैट बॉक्स में क्वेश्चन आंसर आएंगे वो हम
my seniors, madam is sitting, madam is listening, she was my senior, पद्मश्री तो है, बहुत पूजनीय है हमारे लिए, मगर ये है साथ में मेडिकल कॉलेज के अधिष्ठाता डीन भी हैं, उनसे भी बात अपन को सीखें, बात करें, वो इंटरेक्शन से होगा। क्योंकि धारा प्रवाह सिर्फ एक ही आदमी बात करता जाए वो शायद ठीक ना हो, क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन के ऊपर तो इतना मटेरियल है कि आप और हम आज के 1 घंटे में के हेडिंग्स भी कवर नहीं कर पाएंगे।
Thank you very much, sir, for all the informations. and guidance you gave us, and you reminded us about our responsibility. Thank you very much for doing that. And we promise you that we'll make sure that we'll try our level best to get this population down in our respective. Thank you very much, sir, for being there. If we don't have, I mean, we would have interaction right now or in the later part.
I think
No, there are no questions in the chat box presently.
Concerning the world population, we can have now, because other lecture will be on your technical. Is it okay?
Sir, actually, we don't have any questions in the chat box right now.
I don't mind later on also.
I think we'll go ahead with Aditi ma'am's talk, and then we'll take the question and answer session in the end all together.
Yes. No problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, I would like to introduce all of you to our own Dr. Aditi Rathod, the member of Ratlam Obstetric and Gynec Society. She is MBBS and MS Obs Gynae, a consultant obstetrics and gynecology in Rathod Nursing Home, Javra. Welcome, Aditi. Aditi, you're there?
But I'm unable. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, very much, Aditi.
Thank you, ma'am.
We cannot see you. Yeah, now we can see you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
With all the efforts.
So, yes. I'll share the screen. Shall I?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Aditi, go ahead.
Welcome, Aditi ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I start? Okay. A very sir, Sanjay Jagtat sir, Manisha Maheshwari ma'am, Sunita Vatani ma'am, Neha, and all the other members who are present. So this topic I've been allotted has been contraception, as today's World Population Day. It is a very vast topic. So I just tried to assimilate all I could. So as per the 2011 census, the population of India is 1.21 billion, but now it has been almost 10 years, so it must have risen more. We are having 17.5% of world's population, whereas the land area is only 2.4%. And the unmet need for family planning, that is the women who want to use contraceptive methods, but they are not having an access to them or not using them, is 17.5% of world's, is 21.3%. And in our state, it is around 18%. As sir earlier said, early marriage in girls is there. Almost 22.1% girls get married under 18 years. And the decadal growth rate has been 17.62%. And the TFR is also 3% and the CPR is 59.4%. The fertility rate is basically 2.1%. So the ideal, to bring it back to the normal replacement area, contraception, what has been seen is a lot of women have knowledge about contraception, but they're not following it. They do not have access to it, or they do not have proper education to it, or maybe they're not confident enough to accept it. So what is contraception? Contraception is actually enabling the woman to have her reproductive health. It is a preventive method to help avoid women from unwanted pregnancies. Now, the aims of contraception should be that it should avoid unwanted pregnancy. Unchaha garb nahi hona chahiye. They should be the woman should be able to time कि उसको कब बच्चा चाहिए, उसके अपने दो बच्चों के बीच में कितना gap होना चाहिए, and एक additional method है to prevent STDs. So what should is an ideal contraceptive? एक आदर्श गर्भ निरोधक क्या होगा? It should be safe and highly effective, inexpensive, acceptable, independent of medical supervision, easily available, reversible, easily distributed. यानी वो सुरक्षित हो, असरदार हो, वो महंगा ना हो, और सब धर्म और संप्रदायों को स्वीकार्य हो, और जहाँ एक औरत को ज्यादा मेडिकल सुपरविजन की जरूरत ना पड़ा, उसको आसानी से उपलब्ध हो, और उसका प्रभाव बहुत जल्दी विपरीत वो किया जा सके और आराम से उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करा जा सके. So mainly there are two methods of contraception: spacing and terminal method. So the spacing method includes the barrier method and also the natural method, which includes rhythm, basal body temperature, cervical music, together known as the symptothermal method. the SDM and the LAM method. And there are terminal methods, as we all know, male sterilization and female sterilization. So what has been seen in India is India में सबसे ज़्यादा female sterilization is accepted as a method of contraception. So that the females are not wanting to space the family, they just want a terminal method, and they do not plan their pregnancies. Almost 72% of the pregnancies are unplanned in India, and an abortion rate is 47%, which is quite high. And this abortion rate is basically due to unplanned pregnancies. So now we come to the methods. First of all, we'll come to barrier methods. Barrier methods, जैसा कि नाम बता रहा है, they provide the entry. Sperm को अंदर deposit नहीं होने देते, वहाँ तक पहुँचने नहीं देते. So the male condoms, the female condoms, diaphragms and cervical caps, and germicides, gels, and foams. So what are male condoms? It is a very of contraception easily available. Commonly they are made of latex. And polyurethane condoms are also available.
Aditi,
yes, ma'am. Hello.
Your voice is echoing a lot. If you can keep the mic a bit away from your mouth.
Okay, ma'am. Now is it clear? Now is it better, ma'am? Hello.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely better.
The male condoms, they have a Pearl index of 2 to 14, and the air freeze and one condom should be used at one time. It is not reusable, and it extra benefit is that it protects from STDs and HIV infection. But the only known adverse effect is it can lead to contact dermatitis in females. The problem with condoms is they are dependent upon the act itself. They are dependent on intercourse. So it requires a high motivation on the part of the male partner to use a condom at the right time, use it properly, and dispose it off also properly. And he should take care, the couple should take care if the condom slips or is torn, or it should not be an old condom. If there is a change in the appearance of the condom, it is brittle or the package is open, then they should not use that condom, because all this leads to failure. And suppose if there's an accidental slippage of the condom, then immediately the female should use emergency contraception pills. The non-contraceptive uses of condoms are, we all know. Now, the female condom is also available, and it is made of polyurethane. So, इसके दो rings होते हैं. The inner ring is closed and the outer ring is open, and the woman has to insert it herself before intercourse, and at least it should be inside for 8 hours to allow the spermicide to act. And the Pearl index is 5 to 21. There's a high failure rate because it is cumbersome to insert it and take it out, and sometimes the male partner cannot guide the penis properly where it should be. Then we come to occlusive caps. Occlusive caps are, as the name suggests, they stop the passage. They fit inside and they stop the passage of the sperm inside, so that fertilization will not happen. So they are vaginal diaphragms. They go end to end, cervical caps which fit snugly inside. So the main thing is they have spermicides and they destroy the sperms, and they should not be removed for 6 to 8 hours after intercourse, and they should be left for greater than 20. Should not be left greater than 24 hours. And these occlusive caps do not protect any of safety against STDs and HIV. Vaginal sponge is another form of barrier method, and it is actually sponge obtained from the sea, and it is infiltrated with non-oxynol 9, and the sponge absorbs the sperms, and the spermicidal action of non-oxynol 9 acts on it, but it also has a high failure rate. Then we come to hormonal preparations. Hormonal preparations are oral, injectable, transdermal, and latest one, vaginal rings and sprays are also available now. So oral pills can be divided into like combined pills, the combined oral contraceptive pills, which can be monophasic, biphasic, and triphasic, the progesterone only pills, and the post-coital pill. Monophasic pills, ethinyl estradiol is used and a progesterone is used, and there are 3 types of standard, low dose, and very low dose pills are there. The amount of estrogen is changed from 0.5 milligram to 0.3 to 0.2. And the progesterones in this group are norethistérone group, norgestrel group, and the newer desogestrel, gestodine, norgestimate group, which have minimum anabolic or androgenic side effects. Then we come to the multiphasic pills. The biphasic pills are not available in India. And then we have the triphasic pills, where the amount of estrogen is same throughout the cycle, but the progesterone is increased weekly we see a change in, and it increases to the last. This leads to decreased side effects like amenorrhea or breakthrough bleeding. The mechanism of action of combined oral contraceptives is multiple. Firstly, they inhibit ovulation by a negative feedback on pituitary, decrease FSH and LH. Then they inhibit implantation by rendering the endometrium unfavorable, and they cause thickening of cervical mucosa so that the sperms find it difficult to navigate the path. The mechanism of progesterone only pills is basically it is on cervical mucosa and on the endometrium. The side effects, nausea, vomiting, decreased appetite, which will decrease after continued usage or taking it after food, breakthrough bleeding, oligo or amenorrhea. The amenorrhea, which is happening with POCs, can be treated with ethinyl estradiol 0.02 milligram at the end of the cycle. Then breast changes, edema, tenderness, vaginal discharge, chloasma, weight gain in some cases, and acne and oily skin in some cases where it happens due to older progesterones. But the newer drugs are beneficial in acne. Now, what are the contraindications? They should not be given to breastfeeding women within 6 weeks of postpartum because the estrogen decreases the milk production. And in smokers age 35 plus, especially those smoking more than 15 cigarettes a day, then the patients who have multiple risk factors for arterial cardiovascular diseases and known hypertensive patients, a history of current DVT or pulmonary thrombosis, complicated pulmonary hypertension, dyslipidemias, in migraine with aura, diabetes with retinopathy and vasculopathies, and patients having current breast cancer, acute hepatitis, cirrhosis, benign or malignant, liver problems. When should the drug be started, the pills be started? Basically, in a woman with a regular menstrual cycle, you start within first 5 days of the cycle. If the woman comes to you after 5 days, and then you ask her to abstain from sex or use an additional contraception for the next 7 days. Breastfeeding generally is recommended after 6 months after ruling out pregnancy, and then also you tell the woman to abstain from sex and use alternative method for 7 days. If you're switching from another hormonal method and if the patient has been compliant throughout the previous method, then you can start the pill without any break. But if the patient is not sure of a previous compliance, then again you have to ask the woman to not to abstain from sex or use any other contraceptive device. From IUCDs also you can start the pill within first 5 days. If the woman comes to you after 5 days and she's sure that she has not been sexually active, you can remove the IUCD. But if she has been sexually active, you let the IUCD continue for 1 month and remove it in the next cycle. The postcoital pill is also known as the emergency pill, the morning after pill. It is to be taken within basically 74 hours after. This is incorrect. It is to be taken 72 hours after unprotected intercourse, but as early as possible, and usually contains hormone progesterone, and it prevents ovary from releasing egg and also prevents fertilization or implantation. The most commonly drug used now is levonorgestrel. The protocol is 0.7 milligram within 72 hours, followed by 0.75 milligram within 12 hours of the first tablet. Or you give the single tablet 1.5 milligram within 72 hours. The USPIS regime, 2 tablets of ethinyl estradiol microgram plus 0.50 milligram. The 2 tablets, one each has to be given 12 hours apart. Uriprostol acetate 30 milligram within 120 hours. Mifepristone can also be given. And though it is not a hormonal contraception, I'm writing copper-bearing IUD is also means of emergency contraception. Then there's this once a month pill which contains N-silasequinol and it has a high pregnancy rate, so not recommended. Santroman has been developed in Lucknow in India only. It is a non-steroidal chemical and it has been propagated or advocated by Government of India in the Family Planning 2002 mission. It is known as Chaya and is earlier known as Saheli, and it is available free of cost in the government's supply. So, जो भी आशा हो, अगर your healthcare worker available free of cost in the government's supply. It is an anti-estrogen with mild estrogenic activity. The dose is 30 to 60 milligram bi-weekly, basically 30 milligram bi-weekly for first month, and then you can give it weekly. And basically, it creates an ensynchrony between the developing zygote and the endometrial maturation. And it has no major side effect. The only side effect is delayed menstrual bleeding. The male pill, the many different male pills are there. One is Gossipol, and it is a derivative of cottonseed oil. It causes oligospermia or azoospermia. The advantages of oral pills are obviously they prevent pregnancy. They are helpful in menstrual cramps and bleeding. They cause irregularity in cycles, decrease acne, but though some might increase. There is an decreased incidence of ovarian and uterine cancer, and it protection against certain diseases like benign breast disorders, PID, ovarian cyst cancer, iron deficiency, anemia. The Pearl index is good. It is less than 1, and if taken correctly with proper compliance, they're almost 100% effective. Efficacy is decreased when taken with certain drugs like rifampicin or antileptics and some antibiotics. So the patient should be counseled properly, and if she's taking those drugs, then some alternative method should be given. The side effects are basically on the cardiovascular system, thrombosis, because they cause hypercoagulable states, thromboembolism, increased blood pressure. There's an increased risk of breast and cervical cancer, increased risk of hepatic adenoma and hepatocellular carcinoma, metabolic and endocrine factors like impaired glucose tolerance and dyslipidemia. There's an increase in total hormone level, raised protein synthesis from liver and hypercoagulable state. Then we come to depot formulation, which are again being advocated by the government this time. They are the injectable progesterones, depot medroxyprogesterone acetate. Basically, it is known as Antara, 150 milligram every 3 months. Norethindrone anthenate, 200 milligram every 2 months. Then they have very low failure rate. You can see DMP has only 0.3% failure rate, but basically they cause amenorrhea in patients, and the patients have to be counseled long that the return of fertility will take a longer time as compared to other methods like IUDs or oral contraceptive pills. Then these are the cyclopam. They're monthly injections containing 25 milligram DMPA plus 15 milligram, and it has got 0% failure rate. Then we have implants, the progestin only implants, Norplant 1, 2, Implanon, but they are difficult to insert. You need proper expertise in inserting under the skin, as well as removal also requires an expert head. Then these are some miscellaneous. Now there are the newer hormonal preparations which are not easily available. This is just for a knowledge: transdermal patch, once weekly patch, ortho-evra patch. Transdermal patch is given once a week, and it is given for 3 weeks on and 1 week off. Then there's a meter dose transdermal systems, vaginal gel, which contain vaginal microbicidal and spermicidal agents. Hello?
Yeah, Aditi, we cannot hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
You cannot?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, no, yeah.
Just keep your mic a bit more away.
Okay. Now, is it okay, ma'am?
A bit more away. A bit more away if possible.
Now is it all right?
Yeah, very much, very much.
Okay. Now we come to intrauterine devices. The mechanism of action is they prevent implantation and growth of ovum by aseptic inflammation. They cause sperm phagocytization, and the copper affects enzymes and motility. IUDs also, those which contain progesterones, make in cervical mucosa, they can prevent entry of sperm. Actually, we should focus more on intrauterine devices, as ma'am asked, because the use in India is very less. It is less than 2%, though it is a cheap and easily available and reversible method of contraception. There are 2 types of IUDs, mainly non-medicated or inert IUDs and medicated IUDs. The non-medicated IUDs are not used anymore, the Lipi's loop, and now medicated, you have second generation Copper-3 380A, which is one of the most common use available in the family planning program, and it lasts for 10 years. Then the Multilog 375 is also available and lasts for 5. It can be used for 5 years. The third generations are Progestasert and Levonorgestrel, The Copper-T 380 is made of polyethylene, and it is, you can see it in X-ray to barium sulfate, and it has copper, which gives it additional edge over Lipi's loop and other, and it has a polyethylene threads to enable easy removal. The insertion is always by a trained healthcare worker. It should be done in an aseptic proper manner. The patient should be counseled previously. There should be an informed consent. And normally it is the best time is to do after menstruation, within first 12 days of menstruation. Though it can be done anytime, we prefer during menstruation because it is easy to navigate the cervix, but it can be done anytime during menstrual cycle, provided the woman is not pregnant. And if a woman is well educated, she's using a reliable contraceptive and she's sure she's not pregnant, so that time also you can insert it. After childbirth, the government, the postpartum IUDs are being, the government is emphasizing on it. So if the woman has decided voluntarily before birth, you can insert the IUD within 10 minutes of delivery of placenta or within 24 hours of birth, but this method requires some expert training, and can as early as 4 weeks after birth also for property IUDs and 6 weeks for others. After miscarriage or abortion, we can insert the IUD if we are sure there's no infection. If an infection is present, first we have to treat it and give the patient other options. And 3 months later, we can call the patient back for insertion if the infection has been taken care of. Lactating mothers also can have IUD insertion anytime after ruling out pregnancy. And when stopping another method, also you can give it immediately. The patient has to be told to check IUDs. Initially, she has to do it every week. She should sit in a squatting position, and she should wash her hands thoroughly before checking the thread, and then she should put 2 fingers inside and feel the thread. She should never ever pull the thread out because then this will displace the IUD. And then afterwards, she has to get it checked after every period. The thread should be there. If she finds the thread has shortened or she's not able to feel it, then they should visit a healthcare worker. And if she has missed a period also, then she should go for an appointment. And if she feels abnormal pain or bleeding to the amount of twice the normal menstrual bleeding and abnormal severe pain, then she should see a health personnel. Then we come to levonorgestrel 20, or Mirena, contains 52 milligram levonorgestrel, and it is released at the rate of 20 microgram per day, and it lasts for 5 years. Then we have Progestasert T-shaped IUDs. Then they contain progesterone 38 milligram and release the rate of 65 micrograms. Mirena has an added advantage in patients having AUB, and it also sometimes it is said to decrease the size of fibroids also. What are the advantages of IUDs? They are simplicity in insertion. Insertion takes a few minutes. Obviously, training is required. Easily removable, inexpensive, highest continuation rate. If the patient is happy with it, she will continue it for 5 years. There's immediate reversibility, and medicated IUDs, as we have discussed earlier, have benefits in AUB. Now, what are the ideal candidates for IUD? IUD, the uterus should be anatomically normal, and the patient should have at least one living child. She should be a low-risk patient for STDs. She should be in a monogamous relationship. She must, if she is requiring spacing only for a few years, then IUD is good. If she wants to avoid surgical sterilization, and she's willing to check the IUD thread and go for proper follow-up and treatment. The contraindication pregnancy, abnormality, acute PID or history of PID, postpartum endometritis, infected abortion in past 3 months, cervical cancer, genital cancer, previous ectopic pregnancy, AUB, severe AUB, and genital tuberculosis. Now, these are the specific contraindications to Mirena. If the patient has current DVT or pulmonary embolism, or has past history of IHD, or she has migraine with focal neurological symptoms, or there's current and past history of breast cancer, acute viral hepatitis, cirrhosis, benign or malignant liver tumors. The side effects, initially, there might be slight bleeding and pain, the cramp-like pains. The patient might feel them for 7 to 8 days after insertion, so she should be told to take a normal painkiller like any antispasmodic, and the bleeding responds to tranexamic acid. Pelvic infection, sometimes really uterine perforation if the improper technique has been used. And ectopic pregnancy is not a side effect. Basically, it prevents pregnancy, but if a pregnancy happens to occur after an IUD insertion, there are more chances of it being an ectopic. Now we come to the permanent methods of sterilization, which are female sterilization and male sterilization. Female sterilization is the most common method of contraception followed in India. There are mainly 3 methods: mini-lap, laparoscopy, and laparotomy in association with some other surgery. Then there are 2 other methods: transvaginal, which is not followed nowadays, and transcervical. It is an experimental method. Hysteroscopically, something is injected into the tubes to block the lumen. Male sterilization, the conventional method, and the NSV method. Now the take-home messages, and there, I have not mentioned it here. There pregnancy vaccines also are coming, which is against the Zona pellucida, anti-HCG antibodies they make, so they are also down the line. Now, the take-home message is every woman has a reproductive right. She has a reproductive right to decide when to have a baby, how many children, and what should be the proper interval. And for that, she should be counseled properly about all the pros and cons of all the available methods. Like a basket approach should be there, and she should be given full assurance and confidence, and then allowed to choose what is best for her from among the basket of available, so that there is total compliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditi ma'am. That was a very nice explanatory talk, very simple in very simple language. So I hope our non-medical friends who have joined us here are also benefited. The best part I liked was every lady has a reproductive right. That is the best line. Take home message. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have our respected Dr. Leela Joshi ma'am with us today. Leela Joshi ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, she is there.
Ma'am, please maybe have a few words of wisdom from you. One thing that I wanted to discuss over here is contraception needs a lot of education, because I think more than using contraception, people are nowadays using MTP pill, which is a very harmful and dreaded condition.
Yes, you're right.
Hello.
Every day.
It's very easily available, and I guess the education about it is more than that of the contraception. I would like my seniors to opine about it. Any other advice we can give to our opinion?
थैंक यू अदिति, बहुत ही अच्छा डिटेल में पूरा बताया कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन के बारे में.
Thank you, ma'am. There is a journal, ma'am. It is available on net. We all can go through it. Okay. A manual for contraception by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare.
Okay.
उसमें there are many, but it is very exhaustive. वो तो सब यहाँ नहीं लिख सकते.
बट आपने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया मैम, बहुत जितना एडिक्वेट सब ले लिया.
नहीं, थोड़े से टाइम में बहुत अच्छे से पूरा इलस्ट्रेट किया.
एक्चुअली नेहा वाज राइट, वेरी राइट मैम, कि आजकल लोग इतना मेडिकल अबॉर्शन लेते हैं कि मुझे लगता है कि अपनी भी गलती है. वी आर सो बिजी कि अपन कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन की एडवाइस देते ही नहीं कर पाए, कि अपन इतने बिजी है कि चलो ठीक है. तो शायद आज की मीटिंग के बाद मैं थोड़ी ज्यादा कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन एडवाइस दूंगी पेशेंट्स को.
नहीं, आई थिंक जब भी डिलीवरी होती है तो तभी अपन उनको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं कि नेक्स्ट अपन कैसे कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन देना है, या आईयूसीडी. पर आईयूसीडी के लिए इतना ज्यादा मिथ्स हैं कि रेडी नहीं होते हैं वो लोग.
यस मैम.
और अननोइंगली कई बार
सोसाइटी से हम कुछ करना चाहिए प्रॉपर्टी के लिए. इतना मेंटल ब्लॉक है ना करने के लिए.
नहीं, बट इतने सारे मेथड्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रासेप्शन हम लोग बताते हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिकली वी आर यूजिंग ओनली वन और टू ऑफ देम. So like the thing is we should be clear about it, and patient हमेशा आएंगे 3 साल का इंजेक्शन लगा दीजिए. I don't know what that injection. और आप नहीं लगाते, मेरी बहन को तो उधर लगा दिया है उन्होंने, और उन्होंने बोला है कि 3 साल तक का बच्चा. So like you don't know, you fail to understand what this is.
That is copper T. They call copper T 3 साल का injection. The ASHA कार्यकर्ता will tell them कि it is an injection and they don't even know. और हम
Hello.
Yeah, probably. मैं इतना बुद्धू समझती हूँ ना.
आप unmuted हैं. अब आप बोलिए.
नहीं, और कई बार क्या होता है कि उनको इतने अवेयरनेस नहीं रहती. ओरल पिल्स वो सीधे माला एन माला डी स्टार्ट कर देती हैं, फीडिंग करती हैं तो भी स्टार्ट कर देती है.
राइट. एंड फिर उसको भी रेगुलरली लेते हैं.
मैम एक्चुअली प्रोजेस्टेरोन ओनली पिल्स के बारे में अपन भी इतना ज्यादा बताते नहीं है पेशेंट को, बिकॉज मार्केट में इतनी मिलती भी नहीं है प्रोजेस्टेरोन ओनली पिल्स.
सेवाजेट आती थी, उसका कोई दूसरा सब्स्टिट्यूट आ रहा है क्या आजकल?
एक मिनी केयर करके है पर वो मिलती नहीं है. मिनी कह रही है, पता
नहीं
नहीं
मिलती।
सेराजेट की आजकल डिफिकल्टी से मिल
मेरा
रही
जेट तो कई टाइम से नहीं मिल रही है। सन फार्मा की थी ना, वो आती नहीं है।
Joshi madam is there. Ma'am,
Welcome,
can you
Welcome,
listen to
madam.
us?
वेलकम मैम।
Joshi ma'am, we can't hear you.
हाँ सुनाई दे रही है मैडम।
मैडम आ रही है? मनीषा मैम आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ मैम आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है मैम।
सुनाई समझ में नहीं आ रहा है पर। सुनीता कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा मैडम क्या बोल रहे हैं।
कन्वे कर देंगे।
आवाज आ रही है?
बहुत कम आ रही है मैम।
हेडफोन हटा के डायरेक्टली फोन यूज करें तो मैम उससे आए शायद आवाज।
एक सेकंड। Hello.
Dr. Shefali ma'am, I welcome you and the mic is yours. Shefali ma'am.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Shefali ma'am, welcome ma'am. Ma'am, the mic is yours.
Yes, I'm here again. So should I start with the Thanksgiving?
Yeah, please.
So on behalf of Ratlam Obs and Gynae Society, I would like to thank our respected Dr. Bharat Chaparwal sir because he has touched such topics which are often left uncared for. So sir, we will surely work on population control. And then I would like to thank the proud of Ratlam, Dr. Leela Joshi ma'am, who has been working very hard since long to organize this meeting. And I would also like to thank respected Dr. Sanjay Dikshit sir, who spared his time and came here for this meeting. And apart from that, I would like to thank Dr. Aditi, who presented contraception so well that I and all of us will rethink of contraception and will practice it again with a new zeal. And apart from this, I would like to thank the members of IMA, Mahila Bal Vikas, Ashas and ANNs for making this meeting a success. And I would also like to thank the organizers of Pharmacent, especially Mr. Arjun and his team to organize this meeting. And I would like to thank our secretary and our respected president to arrange this meeting. Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you, the members of ROGS, to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Arjun, for arranging this.
Thank you.